Hello, I'd just like to briefly demo my game. So this game is meant to be an online competitive multiplayer game. That's kind of the what I'm aiming for. It hasn't got well, I'm calling it the Beam Machine, but I will think of a new name for it. It's been bothering me for days. I can't think of a decent name, so I'll call it Beam Machine for the moment. So to play it, I'm going to go online. So um, if you're playing it for the first time, you would go create a new account. You would enter your email address, and it would email you your password, and you would log in using that password, and then you could switch the password, change it to something you like. You know, it's the usual thing. I'm sure you've done it loads of times before. The game doesn't have any sort of website. It's literally just a client app. So you would change the password through the game. I don't particularly enjoy web development, so I'd much rather doing everything in my own environment. So let me log in. So the first thing you get is the lobby, and there's some quite cool features here. So if you look in the background, there's a kind of a leaderboard, and what it does is it starts at the highest ranked player, and then it sort of cycles through all the players, and it does this explosion of sort of alpha blended tentacle type things, which show all the players that you've beaten. So it's kind of like a motivator to winning. You know, you want to be first on the leaderboard, you want to appear up there, you want to have this great big impressive wins explosion type animation thing. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. You can actually click on it, and then you can kind of sort of zoom in, and it's a bit like the controls you'd have for Google Maps. You can zoom in and zoom out, and see who you've beaten. So let me just explain how the kind of so each of these is a player, and the reason why there are already lots of players, even though I haven't released the beta executable, is because I've populated it with a number of bots, and each of these bots was actually interfaces to the game exactly the same as a player would. The only difference is that it's a computer kind of controlling the input, and they were all put in at this. They all sort of started at the same rating, which is 1500, and they've been playing against each other over the last few days, and you can kind of see this distribution of player rankings because each of the bots had a slightly different AI profile. So right at the very top, there's a bot called Animal, and I just maxed him out basically. He is insanely good. You know, if you played against him, you would get wrecked. You can see he's at 2,200 now. In fact, he's at such a high rating that he hasn't really got any competition. He's been farming Donkin here, and Donkin is actually the name of my boss. And I've also given him an insanely high AI profile, but just not quite as insane as Animals. So you can see. So if I right click on Donkin, you can see who he's been, and he has actually got some wins off Animal. He's got 9 out of 94. That's not too bad. If you go down here, you know, he's been wrecking QuickNick, and you know, he's pretty much the low-ranked players. He's pretty much got 100% win ratio against them. So I can actually find myself in here. Let's see if I can find it. There's me. I called my avatar Dio. And I'm at 1300 rating, which, you know, it's a bit pathetic. I should be better at my own game, but to be fair, I do sometimes quit and give them the win because I shouldn't make excuses for being bad at my own game. But yeah, so I've got one win against Firefly, 1 out of 2 against Dead Dolphin. You have to excuse the names, and extra special. I've lost once. That's ridiculous. 'Cause extra special's got a really rubbish AI. I don't know how I managed to lose that game. But yeah, so this is the rankings board. It's kind of cool. Back to the lobby. So you can do the usual things here, like you can chat, and there's different chat channels. You can. This is very cool. I spent ages making the scroll bar. It's kind of a curved scroll bar. I spent a whole weekend just obsessing over making it slick and smooth. It's kind of cool. You get the same thing if you type lots of text in here. I'm not going to do that now. But yeah, so let me actually play a game. So if I queue up, it'll try and match me against someone of a similar rating. Ooh, that's failed. Anyway, seems to have matched me, so I'm against Ernest Stein. Where did I come up with these names? So I'm on the right here, I'm Dio, and the basics of the game, there's been lots of games of this kind of class where you have to join up blocks of the same colour. If you get 4 together, then they will explode. And the cool thing about this game is you can kind of dynamically add to your stacks. So if you're quick enough, and the main idea is to try and get combos, because combos are kind of what are really powerful. So if so the spiral here are my resources, and I've currently got this block bonus selected. So if I place a couple of those, and then missed it. So what I want to do is, if I shove a dark blue block here, I'm going to trigger those to explode, and then these green ones are going to fall down, and I'm going to get a combo, and those bonuses in there are going to get triggered. So if I shove it there, those fall down, and because it's a size 2 combo, they're quite strong, and so I get a load of blocks falling on the opposition side. Wow, it's really put me against a weak AI, because my rating is so low, so I should actually be able to win this. Yeah, so there's 4 different bonus types. So there's that block I already showed you, then there's what I call the shell bonus, which is defensive. So if you look at that shell, it falls out and then it hangs around at the bottom, and when blocks fall down, it'll shoot them and defend me against them. Then there's another offensive bonus, which is an unbreakable block. So if I create one of them, it'll go to the opposite opponent's side and it'll fall down, and those can't be broken by shell bonuses. However, there is a counter to them, which is the 4th bonus, and that's what I call the magnetic bonus. I haven't thought of proper names yet. So the way these work are, they fly around, and when you have blocks, and they prioritize the unbreakable blocks, they'll pick them up and shove them over on the opponent's side. Now, this opponent is so weak that it's not really getting much action here. So what I'm actually going to do, because this is, it's really, I've let my rating fall so low that I'm fighting against garbage here, so I'm going to just quit, make my rating drop even lower by giving the win away, but just to show you what a good AI looks like, because it is quite impressive. I'm going to actually quit out, so because my rating is so low, it's not going to automatically match me against a high-ranked bot, because it judges me as too rubbish, and it's just going to put me against garbage. So, I could work my way up, but I haven't got the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit out and go into the single player, and there's 5 difficulty settings. So there's easy, medium, hard, fiendish, and disgusting. Disgusting is pretty insane. It's not quite as it's not completely maxed out, so it's not as like the animal which you saw in the ranking on the rankings board would actually beat disgusting, but have a watch. I mean, if you look on the right, that's the disgusting player. I don't know why I called it disgusting, but you'll see he'll absolutely destroy me. I'll do my best, but you'll see what I mean. The AI is obscene. Yeah, you can see the magnetic bonus in action over there. I'm going to try and be defensive here. Wow, I'm actually doing okay. The last video I made, I think probably I was talking more. Ah, right, there we go. He's starting to dominate. you actually get 2 lives, so the first person to die twice loses. That's it. Yeah, you can see him cooking up something quite nasty there. Yeah, 6-hit combo. I don't know if I mentioned, I should have. So how powerful the bonuses are depends on how large the bonus is triggers them. So that's why his block bonuses are shooting over loads of blocks to my side, because he's doing them, triggering them with really large combos. And likewise, the yeah, you're going to see a huge one here. Oh, 7 hit, 8 hits. Ah, okay, I'm dead. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, the AI is extremely good, and in fact, I literally spent months just working on the AI to get it to the point where I think, I think the maxed out AI is probably impossible to beat. Even if you were Korean, I don't think you could beat it. Which is, obviously well, it just means there's always going to be a challenge. So, if people get bored, someone gets really good at the game, I'll just shove in a bot who's maxed out like Animal and put them in their place. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I hope you get a chance to play it and see what you think. Let me know what you think. Because I'm still at the stage where I'd quite like to kind of tweak the gameplay a bit. I think I don't think the balance of bonuses is quite right, and sometimes it feels a bit clunky the way you have to place bonuses. So if you've got any kind of suggestions for tweaking the gameplay, let me know. And thanks for watching.